It's daily Stoic time.
Let's see what the Stoics have to say today.
Okay, March 13th is one day it will all make sense.
One day it will all make sense. Fingers crossed. Okay.
Holding out for it. Okay, Epictetus is going to lead us off. Whenever you find yourself blaming providence, turn it around in your mind, and you will see that what has happened is in keeping with reason. Here's where I must confess that I don't know what the word providence means.
Yeah, I'm imagining like a providence, like a piece of land or something, or some sort of like a.
I'm imagining Providence, Rhode Island. Is that a thing?
Yeah, like this, like that. That's what I'm imagining.
Okay.
I see Rhode Island, and the Stoics like arriving on boats or something.
So whenever you find yourself blaming Providence, I'm going to say, like, my guess at this is, like, whenever you think that something
outside of you, maybe, or something.
Yeah, or, like, something's gone wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's my guess right now. Is like, whenever you think that something has gone wrong and has been unfair towards you, turn it around in your mind, and you will see that what has happened is in keeping with reason. So, like, in other words, like, you can find a different mental frame. If you find yourself blaming something, the world or other people, for, like, something bad that's happened, you can find a mental reframe for it that is utilizing reason, that moves you away from the blame and into a more productive way of looking at it. That's my guess.
Okay. I'm still quite confused.
Okay.
Okay, let's see what Mr. Ryan has to say about it.
Okay, Ryan Holiday's commentary is as follows. Part of the reason we fight against the things that happen is that we're so focused on our plan that we forget that there might be a bigger plan we don't know about. Is it not the case that plenty of times something we thought was a disaster turned out to be, with the passage of time, a lucky break? We also forget that we're not the only people who matter, and that our loss might be someone else's gain. This sense of being wronged is a simple awareness problem. We need to remember that all things are guided by reason, but that it is a vast and universal reason that we cannot always see. That the surprise hurricane was the result of a butterfly flapping its wings a hemisphere away, or that misfortune we have experienced is simply the prelude to a pleasant and enviable future.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Yeah. There are a couple of things came up that like an example of when I thought it like something was going horribly wrong, and then it turned out to be like not a big deal at all. Right? And like the imagination, that whole day, I was like, oh my god, this is the worst. Like, it was school, like I was getting I got like a bad grade, and from the time I got the bad grade till I got home, I was in this agony of like, this is like the worst possible thing that could have ever happened, because this is after like my parents telling me like, hey, don't get bad grades anymore.
So you thought you were going to get in trouble?
Yeah. I thought I was getting in so much trouble, and my parents like responded to it with like, okay, buddy, hey, listen, that's okay. Let's keep learning. Let's keep hitting it or something.
Yeah.
I was like, what? I thought I was gonna get like chewed up so badly, right? Or that was the time when they gave up on me. They're just like, okay, this cat is never gonna. I'm just kidding. Yeah, that's fun.
And that's a cool example, and it's also like an example where like you thought something bad was gonna happen to you, and then the bad thing didn't happen.
Yeah.
And then I think sometimes there are the things that are hard to like get to the point with that they're talking about in the book are like the ones where like you may even think something bad is gonna happen, and then the bad thing does happen, and then you think, well, something bad is going to happen again, and then the bad thing happens again, and you can get into this place where it seems like life is just serving you misfortune after misfortune, and it doesn't seem to ever reverse, or it doesn't seem like it adds up to something positive.
Yeah. like the missteps come in like in chunks, like there's a bunch of missteps back to back, and then it reverses into a bunch of maybe good steps. It's not like a good step, bad step, good step, bad step, good step, bad step. I see it more like he he was saying something about these cycles of how. What am I making this up?
I don't. I could have missed the cycle thing, but it makes sense what you're saying.
I was just imagining these cycles of like, hey, just because a bunch of stuff is going wrong one after another, that's not necessarily. It swings, right? So it's not really like it can stay there for a long time, maybe, but it'll, keep you don't give up on it or something.
Yeah.
One day it will all make sense, they say.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
I have one thing that I wanted to, that kind of came up for me as I was reading this. Okay, so Ryan Holiday says in here, we also forget that we're not the only people who matter, and that our loss might be someone else's gain. And that happens to me, I don't know if frequently is the right word, but where I will be kind of feeling sorry for myself for like a particular thing, that why does it have to be this hard? And then I'll have a moment, just very fleeting. It's not enough to like make my day better, but I will have a good moment in there, a moment of like being able to zoom out and see that my character is actually plugged in with all the other humans and all the other characters with all the conflicting priorities and interests. And all of this needs to be negotiated out here in the field of reality. And meanwhile, here I am getting upset for anything bad that happens. When if I zoom out and I look at that thing, I'm like, well, of course, every moving piece on this chessboard is going to have missteps, is going to have things that don't go their way at that time because it needed to go somebody else's way at that time. And when I can see that, it's like, immediately I'm like, oh, duh, it's supposed to be like this. This is fine. Move forward. This is actually good for you.
The missteps are good.
The misstep is good. The fact that life didn't go your way is actually good for you. And continue moving forward. Yeah. So I just I didn't even know before right now when I'm talking about it that I had those kind of flashes, because they were so, when you're in a pity party, you might have some thoughts in there that's like, all right, enough, time to move on. But like those thoughts actually don't hold any weight in that moment. You're just like, no, I'm gonna continue feeling sorry for myself. And so this book actually helped me remember that I sometimes have those flashes, and maybe next time the flash will be more significant and might help me emerge from the pity party sooner or something. That would be my hope.
Fun.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to try to take from this week.
Yeah.
I don't know. What are you going to try to take from it?
I kind of there were other thoughts that I had while you were saying things, and they kind of dissipated a little bit. But I feel like I just kind of the understanding of it, just kind of let it simmer a little bit. I don't have any. Yeah. There's no action hey, let's go apply this thing to something. No, just you read it, you understood it, and let it simmer.
I like it. Cool. You want to be done for this one for today?
Let's do it, yeah. Perfect. Awesome sauce.
Turn it off. Bye, everyone.